Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today, continuing on with my mini-series where I look at the pens that my wife gifted me during Inkvent, so that's back in December. Today is the turn of this. This is my second Jinhao 80, and this is in this beautiful white colour, or well, I'm saying white, it's more like a cream or an ivory colour. Quite interesting. Join me now, down on the table, we'll take a look at the pen, we'll do a body walkthrough, some quick size comparisons, fill it with ink, do a writing sample, then I'll give you my thoughts and first impressions on this pen. Welcome down to the table. Here we've got today's pen, the Jinhao 80. Now they say the colour is white. To me it's more of an ivory colour, so it's more of an off-white, but yeah, you could be generous and say it's white. Quite a plain looking pen other than that. Let's take a walk through the body. So we'll start at the top. The top is flat. Might be a little tiny bit of a curve there, but for all intents and purposes that's flat. We come down, we've got a line going around. Just below that line, that's where we've got the clip. The clip is very solid looking. Very stiff as well. I can't even move that. Doesn't bother me. I don't use clips. All I really use them for is a roll guard. Nothing on that clip though. Nice and plain. The cap is tapering out until about halfway down the clip, and then it's the same width all the way down to the bottom. There's no writing on this anywhere, so nothing's saying what the model is. We've got a drop down from the cap to the body. You notice it is there. The body then, same width until about halfway down, then it starts to gently taper down till we get to the bottom, which again is flat, and this time we've got a metallic disc in there. The cap, it pulls off, so it's a snap-on cap. Makes a nice pleasant sound. Let's put it up to the mic. That's going on. That's coming off. Quite pleasant. That reveals the section, but before we look at the section, it's got a converter. It comes with a converter. Now you might see a bit of water in here. I have already cleaned this pen out. The section, same colour as the body, so we're continuing with that feel, and it's tapering down. There's a tiny little lip down at the bottom. That then shows us the nib. The nib, it's a steel nib. It's a Lamy style nib. Very, very plain. It's gold coloured. We've got the Jinhao logo there, the word Jinhao and then F. This is a fine nib. It's a nice simplistic pen. And when you consider the price, I mean it's $6 Aussie, it's a reasonably priced simplistic pen. Let's swap on over and look at some size comparisons. Here we are with my standard pen comparisons. We've got the Pilot Metropolitan and we've got the Lamy Safari. All three pens, very, very similar in size. Maybe the 80, a little tiny bit longer, but it's only a little bit. Width-wise, again, not a lot of difference between them. Let's pop the caps off. With the caps off, again, very similar story. They're all very, very similar in length. This time, though, the Safari, that little bit longer. In the hand, this is nice and comfortable. The lip at the bottom is handy. I hold my pens down near the bottom, but although it's there, you can feel it. It's not enough that I would actually be able to know that I've gone over and I'm not sitting on the nib. If you hold the pen further up, again, not too bad. Will it post? Yeah, posts really well, posts nicely, and doesn't feel overly back heavy, which is nice. Let's swap over and pop some ink into the pen. Here's today's ink, Diamine ink. This is Elf, one of their Inkvent inks. This is a standard ink. Let's take the cap off. We'll fetch in the pen. I've already taken it all down. I've got that converter down near the bottom. Now I'm going to angle the bottle just so I can hopefully show you and you can see the ink going in. And let's work this converter. So that's drawing ink up. Let's go back down again. And then hopefully we'll get a much better fill. There we go. I'm going to clean this pen off and get rid of the ink bottle. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Time for our writing test. Here I've got my notepad of testing. This is Oxford Optic paper, 90 GSM paper, very nice fountain pen friendly paper. Let's do some writing. So here's the Jinhao 80. So we've got a Jinhao 80. I like this ink, it's nice green. I do like my green inks. It's got a fine nib on it. As I've already said, $6 Aussie. Very affordable pen. The ink, Diamine Elf. Drying times, immediate. Looks like it's fairly fast drying. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, that's dry. Pointless doing any more tests. Very fast drying. I mean, it's a fine nib, so not overly surprised at that. Line variation. So here's no pressure. Here's with some pressure. I don't see much of a difference there. None with, none with, none and with. Let's move the mic down to the page and write a sentence. That's nice. Doesn't feel rough. There's definitely audible feedback. You can hear the feedback. Hopefully the mic caught that. Let's do our flow test. Then backwards. Yeah, that keeps it really nice. No issues there. No skipping happening. Just a very nice pen. So what are my thoughts on this pen? I like it. It's a nice, reasonably priced pen. Not so keen on the nib. The nib to me is too fine, but that's my personal choice. I prefer broad nibs. There was just no option to get a broad nib with this pen. What I may do at some time in the next few weeks is go and get a Lamy nib and pop that on there just so that I can have my nib width of choice. Now, one thing I'm noticing, not sure if it caught it on the camera, I got some ink on my fingers when I was filling it, but look at that, you can see the ink on the pen. So it really does show staining. When I cleaned it out, there was some blue ink in there because they'd tested it. And when I cleaned it out, I also found that I had blue ink on here, so I had to wipe it down. So it's something you're going to have to bear in mind. You're going to have to be continually wiping this down, especially if you get ink on your hands. Not a showstopper, but may not look exactly how you want it to. The line, as I say, a bit on the fine side for me, but that's my personal choice. It's nice though. The nib is nice. It's smooth. There's a little bit of feedback. There's a lot of audible feedback. Very little in the way of line variation. The nib, it does feel quite stiff. All in all though, it's a brilliant gift from my wife. Really nice pen for a really good price. And I do appreciate all of the Inkvent pens that she bought me. So they're my first impressions of the Jinhao 80 in white with Diamine Elf. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What are your thoughts on the Jinhao 80? Do you find them consistent? Do you find the quality good? I think for a fairly inexpensive pen, they're not bad value. Please drop any comments down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.